Today was the day Tim Tebow was supposed to be a guest speaker at the First Baptist Church in Dallas. So, I wrote a song. I'm a Tebow for the Lord, make me play good football. Down on my knee cause I please the Lord, just one knee though while I please the Lord. Careful don't fall cause it's kinda awkward and I'm trying to keep my balance and give the Lord some sweet. Now that is a catchy little ditty. I should make a record. Hey, send money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special episode because it is all about Tim Tebow. Truth be told, I know who Tim Tebow is, but I wouldn't say I have a working knowledge of sports. I mean, I've just never been interested. I've tried to find a team to follow, but I always seem to get distracted, usually by like a bird or something out the window. I mean, just really short attention span here. So I guess it doesn't interest me, and there's always something better for me to do. So, anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Tim Tebow, who plays for the Jackers, right? On this day, April 28th, 2013, Tebow was going to take a break from jacking and be a guest speaker at the First Baptist Church in Dallas, the mega church where controversial pastor Robert Jeffress preaches. But we'll get to Jeffress in a second. And I'm very sure that everyone is familiar with the fact that Tebow is a polarizing figure in sports because of his belief in God. Yes, every so often on Twitter he gets all lovey-dovey for Jesus, and most famously, prays on the sidelines, just like he's doing right here. In fact, the act of Tebowing is so popular that Tebow had his people copyright the act. Therefore, if I Tebow here on my show, I might owe some royalties. But let not your heart be troubled, folks. All these fees that he collects will go to Tebow's charity, the Tim Tebow Foundation, which, correct me if I'm wrong, benefits kids with smallpox or something. Or maybe it spreads God's love to people in tough situations. I don't know, something equally as effective. Something along those lines, I don't know. But back to Jeffress. He's arguably one of the most powerful players in the church game, and he is controversial. He's the type of guy who can't even unite Christians. Sometimes he has to open statements with things like, "I'm not saying Obama is the Antichrist." And sometimes he preaches sermons titled, "Being gay is not okay." Also, for some reason, he thinks Islam promotes pedophilia. I mean, Islam promotes a lot of unsavory things, but I'm sure pedophilia is not one of them. He's also called Roman Catholicism satanic and said that Mormonism is a cult. Of course, he does all of this without any follow-up statements. You see, when one undergoes media training, they teach you to speak in sound bites, 7 to 10 second clips that both grab the audience's attention and provide a summary of your entire spot. This enables radio and TV producers to insert said clip into regular programming, and the speaker will still be heard loud and clear. But the trade-off is that when you deal with controversial topics like religion and stuff that we discuss here on the show, very rarely is anything black and white, and talking in sound bits is not sufficient enough to articulate a thought. Now, I'm not going to bat for Jeffress. He's certainly toxic. But when asked about the controversy that surrounds him, Jeffress usually responds by saying things like, "We will not yield to political correctness." I can accept that. I mean, I'm nowhere near politically correct either. And he also says that Christians should not be wimpy. They should stand for what they believe in. Excellent. That is what I'm doing. But on the other side of the aisle. And the major disconnect in the message of Jeffress versus the message of society has changed its tone. And I think people are longing for unity, especially here in America. So if you have Jeffress on one side of the debate and, say, Pastor Mercury on the other, Jeffress will say marriage is between a man and a woman only, and Pastor Mercury says it's okay to be gay. In fact, my church loves you for who you are. That's creepy as hell, by the way. The biggest problem that this creates is a conflict between conservative Christians and the modern Christians. There's no better illustration of this than a good Christian such as Tebow canceling his speaking gig at Jeffress's church so that he can avoid controversy. On a broader scale, it creates a rift between Christians and society. In the past 50 years or so, our lives have evolved in such a fast-paced way, and the church hasn't been able to keep up. Add to that the battle between different Christian ideologies, and no wonder people are leaving the church in record numbers. It's also why atheists are winning. We're gaining in number and winning in the field of ideas. With science and our peaceful nature, it's no wonder the philosophies that we bring to the table are more relevant to the world we live in. We're also a very, very much united group of people. If you're a Christian and you take a look at atheism as it exists today, we're not a fringe of society anymore. We're very normal people with a variety of interests, specialties, and talents. But the one thing we unite on is the fact that we believe that there is no God. And that one thing is good enough for us. Now, as far as Tim Tebow goes, I hear that he has talent on the field. Correct me if I'm wrong, but last season he had a record number of RBIs. And that is something to respect. You see, I did some research, and I'm not completely ignorant when it comes to sports. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the show for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.